Even when life is going through its ups and downs, I still have goals to meet and money to save, and this week is no different. It's Monday night, and it's time for Ready, Budget, Game. Welcome back to Ready, Budget, Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about cash budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. So it's time for game night, and if you watched my budget update video from last Friday, you'll know that I had a really difficult week. But as I said before, life goes on, and even though my life has changed, I do still have goals to meet. I still have my life to live. And so I'm going to do what I always do, which is put money toward my retirement. I won't go into detail with what happened last week. I covered it to the extent that I'm willing to share in last Friday's budget update. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, that's the video to look at for when I shared that. So without any further ado, let's get to saving. I am going to take out Millennial Loteria first because we played traditional Loteria last week for Cinco de Mayo. I've got $100 here, and we'll see how far I can get in the book of games. I don't have any new games this week. It was my intention to introduce new games this month. It's looking like that might not happen, but as I said in the last video, when things get difficult, just go back to what you know, stay with what's familiar, and get through it, and then think about making changes. So I'm going to set this aside for right now. I'll bring over these chips because I'm going to need them for Loteria. Millennial Loteria actually comes with little markers here that are Bitcoin shaped, but I'm just going to use the bigger ones because I'll need them later for another game anyway. So it's much easier to do than taking these out and then putting them back. So Loteria, if you haven't played it before, is a bingo style game. Someone in one of my last videos mentioned that it originated in Italy and then went into the Spanish speaking world. So instead of, and I'm pretty sure it's older than bingo, I'm pretty sure bingo was based on Loteria and not the other way around. But instead of using bingo balls and a cage, you use these cards that have symbols on them. Obviously, there are more cards than there are symbols, so not everyone will be one that I have on my card. So the way that I do this as a savings challenge game is that I keep dealing cards and marking off spaces until I get a Loteria, which is 4 across, up and down, or diagonally, and then I save $1 for every marker that's on the card, no matter where it is. So let's go and let's see how many it takes me to get a Loteria this week. So we've got El Pride, and I don't have that. El Sushi, I don't see that one. El Bad Hombre, and I do have that, so we'll put its chip there. El Twitter, nope. El Brunch, yes, I have that. La Flower Crown, I don't see that one. La Selfie, nope. El Podcast, nope. El Safe Space, no. El Boomer, yes, got him. He's right here. El Yoga, yep, have that. El Coachella, yep, right up here. El Hipster, no. El Gluten, no. El TikTok, yes, and this is a special card, it's lenticular. So El Nail Art will give us a Loteria. El Makeup Tutorial, no. El Nail Art, okay. So we've got our Loteria, and we're going to save $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 this week, which is not bad. It's usually somewhere between 6 and, maybe it gets as high as 11, I think is about the range. So I'm just going to give these a quick shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, $7. So I'm going to put all of these away, along with the card and these. And I'll bring out the binder. I'll put $7 into Loteria, and we'll go right into the next challenge, which will be the 2025 challenge. 1. Loteria gets 7. And as always, I will come back at the end of the video and do a condensing in all of the envelopes that I use this week. Okay, 2025. So this week, as in every week, I'm going to save $20, and I am going to do green this week, I think. Green or red? You know, well, I've got the green out. I'll do green. And I'll put the green over here. And I'm not going to color in the full thing just because it takes me forever, but just enough to show the intent, and I'll come back and do that later. And I'll take out the 20. This challenge was a freebie that I gave away with physical product orders from my Etsy shop. I'm out of these, but I will be doing another one this year, probably coming out in the fall. And I do give away other freebies with Etsy orders. Just this one is out. Okay, so there's that one. And next we'll do Junior's Restaurants. Junior's Restaurants is a box challenge that was gifted to me by April from April's Fresh Start and her son Junior. Junior came up with the idea for this challenge, and it's available in April's Etsy shop. And if you purchase one of the items that Junior created out of her Etsy shop, Junior gets 100% of the money. Mom pays all the Etsy fees, and Junior gets all the money. So there's lots of different restaurants in Junior's Restaurants. There's Junior's Steakhouse, Junior's Donuts, which somehow didn't make it back in the envelope, Junior's Pizzeria, Junior's Fruits and Vegetables, or Junior's Fresh Fruits, sorry, Shut the To-Go Box, Junior's Diner Menu, Junior's Diner, Junior's Hibachi, and Junior's Taco Truck. Junior's Taco Truck is a catch-all, but because I'm doing this challenge as part of a bigger project, I'm not doing the catch-all, or I haven't been doing the catch-all, but I may start doing that now. Okay, so I am going to shuffle these up and we'll see what we find. What I try to do with this challenge is just put about $10 a week into it, and I'm not being particular about what goes in what envelope. I'm just putting it all in the one envelope in the main challenge. So let's take this one. And this is 2 times your next search and save. I don't know that I have that many search and saves left, so if I get something that's not a search and save, I'll still keep that out for when I find it. And I got a search and save. Okay, this looks like a little potato. So I'm guessing he's going to be at the steakhouse, and he is. So I've only got one more symbol left to go at the steakhouse. So let me circle him here. I'll check it off here. And I'm going to save $6 for this. Okay. And I'm going to discard both of these just because I've done quite a few doubles and there aren't all that many search and saves left. So I'll leave this out of the envelope. Oh, you know what? I'll put these over here for now. I'll do the discards at the end. And let's see where we're going to go next. Okay. So we've got Shut the To-Go Box. All right. So since I didn't pull this, I'm going to put it back, and we'll go to Shut the To-Go Box. There we go. Let me get a D6 out. Okay. Wish me luck, because I'm usually not that lucky on Shut the Box. Okay, so we've got 4. So I'm going to set this over here and mark it here. So 4, 3, and we're out. Okay, so here we've got 1, 3, 8, 14. And I'm not going to save $14. I am going to do it the low budget way and add the 1 and the 4, and I will save $5. So that will put me over the $10, but that's okay. Most weeks I go over the 10. So let's see. We're going to end up saving $11 into Junior's Restaurants. And because I still have more of these to play, that's only the second one that I've played, I'm going to put that one back in the mix. Come on, you. There we go. So these all will go back to the front for next week. And then the 2 discards I will send to the back. Okay. So let's go back to the main binder, and we'll put $11 into Junior's Restaurants. And then the next challenge up is going to be Dicetropolis, which is in envelope 4, which is where we left off next week. So I'll grab the Dicetropolis cards and some dice, and we'll see which game we get to play this week. Dicetropolis is a series of 12 dice-based savings challenge games. They're all based on D6, and they are printed on these reusable glossy-coated cards. So there's all 12 of them. They're numbered 1 through 12 down here at the bottom, so you can roll a d6 die to decide which one that you play. It's also available as a digital download if you would rather print and laminate them yourself. But with these, I just use a dry erase marker. You can also use wet erase so that when I make a mark on the sheets, I can just wipe it off and then they're ready to go for the next time. So they're also available if you buy it as a physical product with the 6d6 dice, optional if you need them. I'm going to roll a d12 and we'll see which game we play this week. Okay, number 1, which means we are playing Boston. So Boston is a game that requires 3d6 dice, so I am going to use these colored ones and we'll just pick 3 at random. Okay, we're going to pick the warm colors, red, yellow, and green. And the way that this works is that you roll the dice 3 times. Each time you set aside the the highest number. So we've got a 6 as the highest. We've actually got 2 6s, but we're only setting aside 1. Then we roll them again, the 2 that are left. 6 again. And now we roll the 3rd, and we got a 4. So ordinarily, if you're playing this straight, you would save $16. I am going to save $7. So 6 plus 6 plus 4 is 16. 6 plus 1, so 16. And then 1 plus 6 equals 7. So I'm going to save $7. And I'm going to play this one more time. 6 again. It's not uncommon to get a lot of 6s, especially on the first roll. 5. Oh, and I should be writing these down. And for the third roll, 5. So 16 again. So I'm going to save $7 again. So I'm going to save a total of $14. I'm not going to play all of these lines, although you certainly could. Or you could start it, come back to it later. But because I roll the d12 every time I play this, I never know when I'm going to get this game again. So I'm going to wipe all this off so that it's ready to go for next time that Boston comes up. And I'll put $14 along with the dashboard into the Dicetropolis envelope. So let me get the binder back out here. And we'll go right back to Dicetropolis, and we're going to save $14. Put these in. Okay, and there goes the dashboard. The 3 dice go back in the bag, ready for next time. And next up, we'll do left, center, right. So I've got that mostly set up. I am just going to grab out the tin that has the special dice in them, and we'll do those. I think I've got it just over here. Yep, I do. So I bought these markers to use, because they're easier to see on the dark background compared to the blue ones that come with it. So it's got these 3 specialty dice, and I've explained this a few times, but just a real quick primer for those that are new. Each die has left, right, and a star for the center. It also has 3 faces that are the just round circles. So the way that I play this as a savings challenge game is I start with 3 chips. Okay. And then I roll these dice. If it comes up with a circle, then I take another chip into the pot. If it comes up with a left, a right, or center, then the chip goes into that pot, into that pot, depending on which one it is. And then when I'm out of chips in the main pot, then I save whichever pile has the highest, or until I run out of chips. So that's how I'm going to do it, and let's see what happens this week. Sometimes it's over in one roll. Sometimes it goes all the way to the end. So we've got 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and we're taking another one into the pot. Roll them again. 3 more into the pot. 1 to the left, 2 more into the pot. Okay, 2 to the center, 1 more coming in. One to the left, one to the right, and one more coming in. Two to the right, one more coming in. Two more coming in, and one going to the left. Oh, okay. Two more coming in, and one going to the center. One to the center, two more. One to the center, and two more. This is looking like a use all the chips week. Three more coming in. Yep, probably going to end up using all the chips. One to the left, and two more coming in. Okay, so I can't take any more into the pot. So now if I get those circles, then I'm just going to ignore them. So one to the center, two to the right, one to the center, one to the right, one to the center. Oops, I didn't roll all three. Two to the left, one to the center, and hopefully this will be the last roll. Nope, one to the right, one more roll. So I'm just going to roll one die just because I have one chip left, and I'll keep re-rolling it. Oh, there we go, until I get it to a home. All right, so let's see which pile won. The right has 9, the center has 9, and the left is smaller, 7. Okay, so I'm going to save $9 for left, center, right this week. We'll stack up all these chips again. And I'm not sure how I ended up with 26. This should only be a stack of 25. So I got an extra chip in there somewhere, but doesn't matter. It would have been a stack of 9 no matter what. Because I had 2 stacks of 9, right? So, okay. So left, center, right is going to get $9. 5, 7, 9. Well, I'll take these two. Okay, next up is going to be a scratch. This will be Elephantastic. And because I've been hitting some higher numbers, especially on Dicetropolis, I'm just going to scratch 1 today. So let's see what we end up doing. Let me see if I've got my scratcher. There it is. My scratcher being a quarter. So I'm going to stay on the $75 side. This is a freebie in my Etsy shop. If you place an order of $75 or more, it's double-sided. This side saves you $75. The other side saves you $25. So I'm going to go down here, and this is going to be $9. So let me get this cleaned up. Put that away. Six, and we'll go 5, 7, 8, and 9. Goes into the challenge. And then the challenge itself goes back. Up next will be Flip 7. That's a card game. So I will get set up for that, and then we'll do that here next. This game is Flip 7, and if you haven't seen me play this before, I'll go over how I play it real quick. This is a commercially available card game. You can get it at some specialty game stores or toy stores. I'm sure you can order it online. And this one has numbered cards in it that correspond, the number of cards correspond with the face value of the card. So there's 12 12s, there are 6 6s, there are 4 4s, etc. There's also special cards in the deck that are forced multipliers, forced adders, freeze, second chance, things like that. So the way that I play this is I have to deal myself at least 3 cards, and I can keep dealing as long as I want up until I get 7 cards, 7 numbered cards, or until I hit a freeze card, or until I decide to stand, but I've got to take at least 3 cards. And the object is to avoid hitting 2 of the same value. So the higher the number, the better it is for your score, but it also increases the chances that you're going to find another card with the same value and go bust. So the object is not to bust. So I am just going to mix these back in here and give them a shuffle. I've been pretty good at avoiding bust, and I almost hesitate to say that because I feel like if I put something like that out into the universe, the cards are going to go against me. But we'll see what happens this week. And Flip 7 is a game that has totally different rules if you play it with other people. I mean, it's not that different from the way that I play it. But one of the things that I like about adapting commercially available games for savings challenges is that essentially you get 2 games out of it. I could play this with my friends if I wanted, and someday I hope to, just as a regular game the way it's intended to be played, but I can also use it as a savings challenge game. Okay, so let's get to dealing and let's see what happens this week. So we get a 5, so that's good. Ooh, a forced adder. Okay, so that goes up here. That doesn't count as one of the 3 cards. A 6, so that's good. And an 11. Okay, so I could freeze here if I want, but my goal is that one of these days I'm going to be able to get all 7 cards. And I've got a pretty good chance of not going bust, so I'm going to really tempt fate, and I'm going to keep going. Ah, and I busted. On a 5, no less, the lowest card that I had, and I managed to find another one. Okay, so when you bust, or when I bust, I have a penalty for that, and it's been a while, so I need to look at the penalty, at the game sheet that I created again, just to remember what that penalty is. Oh, I should have known better. Okay. So go bust, play the same number card twice, save a penalty of $10 plus the number of cards dealt. Okay. For example, 2 cards save additional $2, 5 cards save additional $5, etc. Okay, so I'm going to save $10 because normally I play this low budget. So if I had stopped here, I would be at 22, 28, 2 plus 8, $10. But now I am paying $10 plus $1 for every card dealt, and that includes any of the bonuses. So that's going to be a total of $15 because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So 15 is what is going into Flip 7 this week. So a 10 and a 5. Oops, I went the wrong way. All right. So I'm going to set these cards aside, and I'm going to do a quick looky-loo and see if I can find my dice for quicks, which is up next. I was so excited last week that I found them. Oh, there they are. Okay, good. I was thinking, oh dear, I've lost them again. All right, so we're going to do quicks, and I'll need the scorecard out of here. For those of you who watched Game Night last week, one of you, at least one person, commented that I had made a mistake in adding up the total here, that I added an extra 10. For whatever reason, I calculated in my head that 12 plus 11 was 33 and not 23. So this should have been $10 saved because, again, I do it low budget and I was out right away. But because I'd already saved the money, I just decided to leave it. It was only an extra $1. So that's what happened last week. Hopefully I don't make any more errors like that this week, but we'll see. And hopefully I don't go out so quick last week. That is the worst I've ever done at Quicks. So Quicks is a lot like Shut the Box. I won't go into too much detail explaining it. I think it just makes more sense if I play it and kind of explain as I go along. So I'm going to roll these 3 dice. And the only reason that I'm rolling the green die is because that's the row that I'm on. Okay, so out of these 3 dice, I can make 3 different numbers. I can make a 5, I can make a 6, and I can make a 9. So I am going to cross off the 5 and the 9. I have to be able to make at least one roll, at least one number out of here, but I could make 2 or even 3. And sometimes you can only do 1. If I rolled 3 5s, then the only roll or the only number I could make would be a 10. So I'm making a 5, and I'm taking the 9. I try to leave the 6, 7, and 8 as long as I can because those are the easiest to roll, and those can get me out of trouble. Because if you roll and you can't make any of the numbers because they're already taken, then it's game over. Okay, so we've got 4 and we've got 6. I can only make 2 numbers because I've got a double. So I'm going to take the 4. I'm still going to leave that 6, dangerous as that is, and I'm going to roll them all again. Okay, 6 and 8. So it's a good thing I left that 6. So I'm going to take the 8, and I'm still going to leave the 6. I'm going to leave that open. Roll them again and see what happens. So I've got a 3 and a 4. Well, the 4 is already taken, so all I can do is the 3. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this pen uncapped. Roll again. Okay, so we've got 3, 5, and 6. 3 and 5 are already taken, so I'm going to take the 6. If I'd taken the 6 in an earlier roll, that would be game over. But this way, I'm still alive. Oh, good. 11, 7, or 8. So I'm going to take the 11. I'm going to leave the 7 because it's the easiest number to roll, and I may need it later. We've got 10, we've got 6, and we've got 8. 6 and 8 are already gone. I'm going to take the 10. So now I need double 6s, double 1s, or a 7 to stay alive. Double 1s. Okay, so still alive. So I need 2 6s. It would be really great if I could get 2 6s and a 1. Then I would have gotten all the way across the row. Nope. But I did get the 7. So I can take the 7. So that leaves me 12. Come on, double 6s. And I didn't get them. Okay. So the 12 is left over. I'm going to save the $12. I don't really have a specific cutoff. But in this case, I'm kind of dwindling on money here. In fact, 12 is going to probably take most of what's left. And I've got some bigger challenges coming up after this one. So let's see how much this game is going to save this week. In fact, the next game up is the big Shut the Box, I think. I think that's what's under number 9. So I may very well be taking more money out, and that's totally fine because it all goes to retirement. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which leaves me $3 to play the really hurty version of Shut the Box. But that's okay. Let me get out the binder here. $8. And I will gladly pay that $12 for having gone almost all the way across the board. I mean, we've gone from the worst I've ever done to almost the best I've ever done. I've had one number left over before, but it was smaller than 12. So I'm going to put the game card back in here. And Quicks is also commercially available. You would get the dice and you would get a pad of those game boards. Number 9, it's not Shut the Box. So that's where we're going to leave off next week. We're going to play Sussed. This will be the last one we do, and then I'll come back and do a condensing. Only if I can get this paperclip to cooperate. There we go. Okay. So Sussed is another commercially available game. I think it's from the UK. It might be from Canada. And the way that I play this is... Oh, I don't need this one. It's kind of a would you rather, and there's 3 options for each one. And so I've decided that option A is worth $2, option B is worth $3, and option C is worth $5. So this next question says, I'd most like the power to A, turn myself into a statue, B, bounce as high as a football, or C, slide around on any surface. Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, I don't think turning myself into a statue does me a whole lot of good. Bouncing as high as a football, that's not too terribly high. But sliding around on any surface, that could be really useful for getting places in a hurry. So I'm going to say sliding around on any surface. And I'm just going to grab, see, that's not a permanent marker. Here we go. So I'm going to mark C for this one. And that'll be $5, and I think I've got 3 left. Yep. So I'm going to take another $2 out. 1. Oh, come on. 2. All right. $5 going into Sussed, which will be number 9. This is done. So we'll put the card back, put in that $5, which is just going to get consolidated here, but the 5s are kind of buried at the moment, so I'll just stick in the 1s for now. So that's it for game night this week. Next week, we will pick up here and do the OG Shut the Box. But for now, I am going to break the video, come back and do a condensing, because this one got thick again after game night for this week. So come back here in just a sec, and we'll do some condensing. All right, let's go through the book and see what we can condense. So we started, as we always do, with Loteria. And in this envelope, we have 100, 20, 40, 5, 50, 4. So I can swap out these 5s and the 20s for a 50. So $154. And that's not too bad. I've been playing this for several weeks, but Loteria doesn't tend to get more than, like I was saying earlier, $10 or $11 at the most. Okay, 2025, there should be, let's see, 100, 200, 340. So I don't know that there's much we can do here to condense, but 340, yep, that's what we've got. If you like these Sea Life placeholders, they're available in my Etsy shop. They're double-sided. They are durable. They will last you a very long time. Professionally printed. Junior's Restaurants has quite a bit in it, actually. 100, 50, 60, and 5. So I am going to take these back and get out a 5. So 165 is still where we are with that. Should be well over $200 by the time it's done. Maybe closer to $250 even. We'll see. Okay, Dicetropolis is next. 100, 50, 70, 80, 85, 87, 89, 91. So I'm going to put all of this down. This is $21, and I will take a 20 and a 1. So 191 is still where we are. Next is left, center, right. This game has 100, 110, 115, 120, 122, 24, 26, 127. So this will be $20. So I'm going to swap that out, put all of this back. Okay. Next up will be Elephantastic, the Scratch Off Savings Challenge, which has in it 20, 40, 5, 47, 49, 51, 52, 53. So we're going to save back a 2 and a 1. And then this should be $50. 20, 45, 7, 9, 50. Yep. Okay. So $50. 20, 40, 5, 47, 49, and 50. Okay. Flip 7, which got $15 this week, has 100, 110, 20, 5, 33. So swap these for a 20. And then in Quicks, which also got a fair amount, $12, which, I mean, that is a fair amount when you're putting aside only $100, right? So it's 12%. 100, 200, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so it had 200, so it just got the 12. So I'm going to put all of that back. Oops. And we'll take out a 10 and a 2. Okay. Sust has 20. I'm going to swap that 20 for one that has a sticker on it. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oops. 28. All right, so we're just going to take back 5 ones and get a 5. Okay. And that's it for the consolidating and the condensing. So let's see how thin the binder is now. Still pretty chunky. It'll get thinner after I do the Savings Challenge books, which will be coming up on Wednesday. I will be right back here on Friday for another budget update, and then Monday for more savings challenge games for contributing to my Roth IRA. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new. I am saving $5 per subscriber for the first 1,000 subscribers. So I do those budget updates on my Fridays when I update the tracker. I didn't do it this week because, again, a lot going on. But that is one of my goals for May, is to get caught up with that so that I can put that money toward one of my big goals. Again, thank you so much for watching. And until I see you in the next one, take care.